I just got the most realistic lightsaber I have ever seen. For those that aren't aware, I am a huge Star Wars junkie. And Saber Customs recently contacted me and asked me if I'd be willing to try out some of their lightsabers. So I absolutely jumped at the opportunity. Just look at the amazing craftsmanship in this hilt. This thing is beautiful, and it has a really nice weight. It's not too heavy, but it's also just, I don't know, man, I really love the appearance of it. I mean, they went above and beyond to try and make sure they matched Luke Skywalker's saber. And just to give you an example, I do have other sabers, and this is Hasbro's version, which you can see when you look at it next to this particular saber from Saber Custom. It just blows that saber out of the water. This thing is amazing. And one of the best parts is the blade is removable, which also I want to point out, this is a dueling saber. And that is why the blade is removable, because if you damage the blade while you're using this, you don't have to worry because they're not that expensive to replace, and they're very easy to replace. All it is 4 little Allen screws that hold your blade into the end of the shaft. The sword has a couple really cool options just from the button. For example, to turn it on, you just push and hold the button.
Power on.
Now you can hear that it is on. Now if you want to turn the blade on, you just give it a quick tap, and it'll turn it on to whatever setting you have it set up as, and then you can push and hold it, and it should turn the blade off. But here's another cool feature. With the sword still on, if you wanted to turn it on without touching a button, just wave it, and you can turn it back off just by giving it a little bit of a tug, and it will automatically shut back off. Now, if you didn't like the color of the blade that you have, if you push and hold the button for a second, you'll hear them say a different name.
The sun.
So now we're in the sun setting. There's a total of 16 different preset settings, and let's just see what the sun would look like. So the sun is a flashy green, and then again, you can hold the button and turn it back off. But I don't want to keep playing with that because it's kind of a pain, but if you wanted to keep selecting different things, you just push and hold.
The Dark Empress.
And then it'll cycle through. Every time it goes to the next thing, it'll cycle through and it'll tell you what that particular channel's name is. And just to show you, the Dark Empress, I believe, was a flashy red. Okay, so it's like Darth Vader. But now let's get really in depth with this sword, because you can even get an app and you can do all kinds of crazy things to this lightsaber using the app. Okay, now the first thing you got to do is go to your app store and download XENO. That's XNO. I'm not sure how you enunciate it, but anyway, that's how it is spelt. But with the lightsaber in the on position, you're going to go click connect. Once we find it, you can see right here's the lightsaber. We're going to connect that lightsaber.
App connected.
And you can hear that it's now connected. Now, the first thing I want to do, because I don't want, when this starts humming and all that, it's going to be very loud and you're not going to be able to hear me. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to adjust the sound. So let's turn the volume down.
Volume level 43%.
We'll do it at
Volume
60%.
level 58%.
Hopefully that doesn't make it too disruptive anyway. But now that it's connected, we got the volume down to a decent level. Just push the crystal, and you can see it turns the sword on. And you can push the crystal, and then again, it will turn it off. And then earlier I just showed you that if you want, you can set a bunch of different things in here. You can do the blade settings to the, if you have a different blade that you buy anyway, you can adjust the blade length. When the blade's on, you can adjust the brightness. You can come down here, and earlier I told you you could do the motion for turning the blade on and off. Well, you can turn that setting off, or you can leave it on if you like it like I have it. You can turn the flash and clash off and on. You can turn a countdown on and off, and so on and so forth. The motor speed is the vibration of the motor that's in the hilt. You can control that to whatever you want that to be. And then you have pre-lit settings, and I haven't played with everything yet, guys, but There is just so much you can do with this. Going back home, though, really quickly to show you something that I think's cool. I told you there's 16 preset settings, so you can just real quickly fly through these.
The Dark Empress.
Do whichever one you want. I'm gonna leave it in the master because that's my favorite. But now let's turn the blade back on, and now I want to show you, because right now it's green. What if you don't like green though? Let's go to the color palette, and you know what? I want it to be red. So let's make it red. And that's all you got to do. You just click and drag to whatever color you want, and it'll change the color of the blade. Let's make it white for that matter. And there you have it. You can make it yellow. Any color you can think of, and it will change the color of that blade, so that way you can have any color you want and be any type of Jedi you want. And then you have all these effects that you can click on and off. Now, I leave the effects on for when I'm dueling, so when it hits, it'll do the clashing effects and whatnot. But you can do these effects all individually. So we have that light effect, you have the drag light effect, you have a flash on clash, you have the blast light effect, you have a force light effect, and I mean, the list just goes on and on. If you're a Star Wars fan like me, you are going to want to have one of these because this thing is awesome. Again, let's just go ahead and turn it off. Whoops. There we went. Got to go ahead and turn it off. And once you're finally done playing with it, you just push and hold the button, and it takes about 30 seconds for it to finally go into shutdown mode, but you'll physically hear it tell you when it fully shuts off.
Power off.
And now you know this is fully de-energized, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. In this particular case, if you needed to charge it, you have to unscrew the base of the hilt. And right here is a USB-C plug, and it comes with a USB-C charging cable, but you just plug it into there, and that is how you charge the unit. Real quick, this is the USB that comes with this for charging, and then you also get a little bag of tools. It's 2 Allen wrenches and a bunch of little Allen screws. Now, the screws are extra, so if you lose any of the screws on your lightsaber, you will be able to easily replace them. And again, to show you how easy it is to change the blade, all you have to do is loosen these little screws with the included Allen wrench, and your blade will slide right out. If you're interested in getting one of these lightsabers, there will be a link below in both the description and the comments of this video. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go beat my kid.